So today we will be teaching you about system of three equations. So before you can learn about the system of three equations, you should start off with something basic, which is the system of two equations. So let me do an example for you. So this is a system of two equations with two variables. It's pretty basic. So in this method you have to solve for one of the equations first. Which equation you choose of the two is up to you, but it's usually best to pick whichever one looks the easiest. So in this case, it would be the first one. So here we take this equation, 3x minus y equals 7. And what you would usually do is you get the y to the other side by subtracting 7. 3x minus 7 minus y equals 0, and then adding y to both sides. So now it's 3x minus 7 equals y. So we take that and we plug that into the second equation. So now it's 2x plus 3, and then in parentheses 3x minus 7 equals 1. So as you can see, we made the first equation. We made the first equation y. So let's solve for that. So it's 2x, and then use the distributive property on the y. So it's 9x minus 21 equals 1. Then you just go ahead and add that equation. So 11x minus 21 equals 1. Add 21 to both sides. 11x equals 22. Divide by 11. And x equals 2. So that is the x portion of our equation. So now we've concluded that x equals 2. And the next step, all you gotta do is plug in x equals 2 to one of your original equations, whichever one you want. So I'll just go ahead and plug in the first one. So 3, 2 minus 7 equals y. 6 minus 7 equals y. So negative 1 equals y. So that's the end of your equation. So 2, negative 1 is your xy coordinate. And that's how you solve a system of two equations with two variables.
Wow, I really get it.
I know! Now you're ready to learn how to do the system of three equations.
Alright, now we teach you a system of three equations. So in a system of three equations, you need to isolate r, s, and t at different intervals to find what each one is, and then you solve the problem. So if you look here, you're supposed to take two things that are next to each other before you do anything else. So here you can see that you can just multiply this by 2, so that it becomes negative 4, so it's easy to cancel. So now, because if this is a negative, this is a positive, you're gonna add, so the negative would make it subtracting instead. So you're gonna add everything together. So it's 12r, negative 2s, and then 0. It's 0, so you just leave it, equals 6. Keeping this equation in mind, we're going to try and find something to fit with that. So the easiest thing seems to be here, again, would involve the 2. Because you can just write 4r, 8r, it's 2s, subtract 4t equals 10. And then negative 3r minus 3s, subtract 4t equals negative 16. So here, instead of adding, you're going to subtract, so that, subtracting from negative is positive. So here, 8r subtract negative 3r is 11r. 2s subtract negative 3s is positive 5s. And then these two cancel out. And this makes 26. Alright, so now you're going to take these two box equations, and you're going to, mash them together. So you get 12r minus 2s equals 6. And on the bottom you get 11r plus 5s equals 26. So you look at the problem and you're like, how am I going to cancel this? The way you do it is you multiply this by 11 and this by 12. You add it by the first number to make it easy. When after multiplying, you can see these here cancel out by subtracting. And here you subtract and get negative 82s equals 246. And then after some division, divided by negative 82, you get s equals 3. So you got your first variable down. Okay, so now that we know that s equals 3, we can erase all this nonsense. And just put up, this thing. And just put up here, s is going to equal 3. Because you need to remember that for the rest of the problems. So now we're going to try and get r. And what I can see here is that you can do it with 3 and 4. I mean 3 and 2. So write out this one first, negative 3r minus 3s, subtract 4t equals negative 16. And on the bottom, 8r plus 2s, subtract 4t equals 10. So as before, we're just going to get rid of t first because it's the easiest thing to get rid of. And you're going to do it once again by subtracting. But this time, you get a negative 11r and a negative 5s. And then this goes away. Bye-bye. Equals negative 26. And remember that s equals 3 from earlier? This one right here? You're going to plug it in there. So you got a negative 11r, subtract 5 times 3 equals negative 26. Okay, so here, you have negative 11r minus 5 times 3 equals 26, which gets negative 11r subtract 15 equals negative 26. And then because it's negative 15, you're going to add it to negative 26 to isolate r. So add 15 to both sides. You get negative 11r equals negative 11. It becomes pretty evident what you do here. You divide negative 11 on both sides, and you get r equals 1. So that's another variable down.
Actual.
So now that you know that r equals 1, once again, you're going to erase all this nonsense. And put r equals 1 up there. So now the easiest thing to do is to just plug r and s into the problem. I'm just going to do the first one. Seems like the most simple. So you get 4 minus 12 plus 4t equals negative 4. And then you do 4 minus 12, which ends up being negative 8 plus 4t equals negative 4. And then you add 8 to both sides. And you get 4t equals 4. And then you divide 4 from both sides. And you get t equals 1. Move that up here. And we're done. If you want to check the problem, make sure you did it right. You don't need all this. And I'm just going to plug into the first problem again. Just, why not? So once again, you get 4. And then subtract 12. And then you add 4 equals negative 4. So that gives you negative 8 plus 4 equals negative 4. Negative 4 equals negative 4. You checked it and you're done.